everyone loves summer break. Yes or yes? No school, perfect weather for the pool, and the one thing I look forward to every single year, catching queen ants. You see, I'm not allowed to keep dogs or cats in my home, and it's because of one reason and one reason only: allergies. Achoo! Right now, I only have one colony under my care, which is my 4-year-old yellow carpenter ants. This whole colony you see started from one single queen ant. Now isn't that crazy? And during the summer months, you could catch your own queen ant to raise up yourself. So by the end of this summer, we're going to start off with one colony and end it off with 1 ender trillion. Every night during late May up until August, I leave out this purple light lamp, also known as a UV blacklight. I use this to catch bugs to feed to my ants, and it's one of the main ways of catching queen ants. I also like it because it's purple, and I'm purple. Tonight, it's just some moths, a daily food item for my ant colonies. I would feed these to my carpenter ants since I didn't have any feeder insects at the time. Every time I dump in bugs, the workers would instantly collect them up and transport them into the nest for the larvae to feast on. Boom, in the freezer you guys go. Since I already went 2 days without any queen ants and the weather felt right, I decided to go outside and try daytime hunting instead. But all I could find were random colonies. I don't even know what these guys are eating. I don't even want to know what these guys are eating. Felt like I was wasting good nights spending my time attempting to catch queen ants in my backyard, so I had to make up for it later on. I mean, at least my ants are having something to eat since I'm putting all these moths in the freezer. Whoa, sorry to interrupt, Ender from the future here, but you know what time it is? It's Mr. No Fans and Sans time! Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Also a message to everybody else still watching, don't forget to stick until the end to enter our first giveaway. Alright, take it away, Ender from the past. Oh, didn't see you there. As you can see, I'm at the pool, and it is a queen ant magnet. Funnily enough, it was only fire ants that I found in this pool, and I saved every single one of them. A few days later, I was back to blacklighting. Not only were there even more food for my colonies, but also the very first queen, the first of many more to arrive the next few nights. These golden colored ants are some kind of thief ant. Last time I caught these was in my Catch Queen Ants in Your Backyard video. And yeah, that was a while ago. All of these queens have wings, and it's not the best sign because it might mean that they haven't mated. Among the queens I collected were also these drones of a new species I haven't seen before. Looks like one of them is really clumsy. I was hoping to find a queen of the same species later on that night, but I only found another thief ant queen. Other nights I would go out, I would have zero luck with the parks. On this night, however, I was glad to see 2 new kinds of ants. They would be the only species I would catch this entire year, but unfortunately they both did not lay any eggs. As June came to a close, so did my opportunities of finding queen ants in my backyard. This would be the last night I would go to the parks because I would be camping the following day. What you see scurrying around on the ground are dark rover ants. These are an invasive species here in the US, and I find them every summer. And I'm not exaggerating when I say there are hundreds every single night. Here I would use a cotton ball to scoop them up and put as many as 10 queens per tube. I've disliked these ants for a while, but they can be pretty cool if you have a large colony of them. I can't remember how many I caught, but it was still a great way to end the month. As I came back home, I didn't find any queen ants, but more food to feed to my colony. Hopefully my trip to the mountains would prove to be an even greater experience. And on July 17, I found myself in new lands. But before we leave, let's check on these queen ants close up, with this macro lens kit from Apexel. I know a lot of you like to record your colonies but don't have a macro lens, or good lighting, so this should solve this problem. Looking inside this box, we have a carrying case, a lens diffuser that was a bit difficult to take out, charging cable, cleaning cloth, spacers for your phone lens, and the stars of the show, the 100mm macro lens and light. It should fit any phone as long as the case isn't too thick. My iPhone XR fits pretty nicely. On the back of the light there are 2 buttons, one for the power and temperature, and the other for changing the brightness. There are 3 brightness levels, and 3 color temps. But if your phone changes the temperature automatically, you might not use this feature. Still pretty neat though. Here's an example of the footage changing automatically as I change the temperature. And now check out this macro. All you have to do is press and hold the power button, and you can see in much clearer definition that I have to cut my nails. But can it see the smallest of ants? Yes, it can. You can not only see these dark rover ant queens, but the cocoons, larvae, and eggs. If it can see these ants, then any other species should be viewable with this lens too. Like this acrobat ant queen, this carpenter ant queen, who probably won't lay any eggs because I've had her for a few months now, or this carpenter ant worker. I noticed zooming in doesn't pose an issue with the quality, and it's great that it doesn't do that because check out the size of that larva. You can see it in all of its details. The light does wonders here. Honestly, a better job than my desktop lamp if all I had was my phone. Luckily, this light is rechargeable so you don't have to worry about exchanging the batteries either. Having this on the go would have helped so much with recording bugs I caught while blacklighting in the past, because the flash is much brighter and the built-in macro on my phone sometimes doesn't work how it's supposed to. I have a link at the top of the description if you want to buy this for yourself. But where was I? Forests, as far as the eye can see, and best of all, the surprise of my first queen ant to start off the day. Underneath this rotting tree stump, I found a founding carpenter ant queen all by her lonesome. No eggs, no cocoons, just herself, accompanied by some termites. Finding this queen already set the standard for what I was expecting to find during my week's stay out here, but unfortunately, she would be the only queen of her kind. As I continued my search throughout the area, I barely saw anything on the ground. At least whenever I looked up, the views here were beautiful. As I continued my search, I made my way to this small hill where among the small shrubs was a colony of wood ants. I spent a solid 30 minutes overturning rocks in this area.
Dang, look at that view.
And besides these two other ant colonies moving cocoons, there was barely any other kinds of life. Fast forward until later on that afternoon, I headed out again, but this time I was making my way into the forest. As the door opened and the sunlight hit my feet, I began my walk along the paved bike lane. To my left were tall, thin trees, reaching towards the sky.
Yo, this right here is perfect.
Hopefully I was going to find some queen ants. I was kinda nervous walking through here since the green blades almost went up to my knees and I wasn't able to see where I was stepping. So, with that in the back of my mind, I had to do some quick parkour to get to solid ground.
Let's see if there's anything under here. Dang, I gotta level up, I'm way too weak.
Looking around, I tried turning over every branch and rock I could find.
I feel like I'm playing Minecraft.
It seemed too dry, so I didn't think I would have that much luck.
If you guys see any rocks or dried pieces of wood, let me know. Tell me in the chat, guys, if you see anything. I'm not reading the chat right now, I'm focusing. I don't want to get mosquito bites. Yeah, there's a lot of wood right here. A lot of sticks. It's pretty nice. I like the shadows here too. See, like way out there, it's just grass. But over here, there's a bunch of trees. See, like this is like a good piece. Oh my gosh, these flies keep on running into my mouth. This is like a good piece of rotting wood. This is like similar to what I found that carpenter ant queen in. Yo, maybe something's underneath here. Nothing else in here. No, nothing here either. It's kind of too dry here. Oh, shoot.
And then I ran into some mosquitoes. I did not want to get bitten by any of them.
There's like nothing here. Oh, whoa, there's mosquitoes here. I'm going where? Oh my gosh.
Spoiler alert, I ended up getting bit by a few, so I made my trip to the supermarket to look for bug spray and some snacks. So I stopped having chips this year, and I've been more of a granola bar type person, but today I felt like it would be a good day to try some kind of new trip.
Yo, maybe we need some toothpaste. Cranberry juice is really good. Mango nectar, cranberry grape. Alright, change of plans, we're gonna get some cookies instead.
But not just any kind of chip. Chips Ahoy! But there were so many different variations, I had trouble choosing the right one.
I don't think I've ever seen this many Chips Ahoy. Oh, aren't these ant farms? Got what we needed. Maybe I need some cereal.
In the end, I got some red velvet ones and these Chips Ahoy Thins. I also acquired anti-itch cream because these bites were giving me the case of the itchiness. Now that I was prepared, I was ready to take on the dangers of the forest. The environment, surroundings, greenery, fauna, trees, scent, sky, sunlight, shadows, nature, everything. It's a sight to see for yourself. So far, I've made up my mind that it's definitely more difficult finding queen ants than compared to the parks. Or maybe it's just because I'm not looking in the right areas. One thing's for certain though, I am not giving up this easily, so on to the next location I went. Right off the bat, over here was a bit different. All the previous locations were completely ridden of ants, but this trail, there were ant holes all along the sides. Continuing my search, I came across this open field. And this crazy looking fallen tree reminded me of a skeleton of a massive creature long gone. As the day went on, looking for queen ants was more difficult than I thought. Maybe it was the time of day, or I was looking in the wrong place like I said earlier, but already this was a hard undertaking.
Alright, hopefully this log has something over here. Oh yeah, right here, look. Oh, they just went into that hole.
I came across this log ridden with holes, of which emerged carpenter ants.
Whoa, look at this. I feel like I'm playing a survival game right now. I got all my sticks. Do some Bear Grylls stuff. 24 hours in the in the wilderness, looking for queen ants. Yo, the shadows are hitting really nicely right now.
Then, evening began to creep up. And as I walked further along the wilderness, overturning logs and rocks, I made a surprising discovery. Underneath this log was a pretty hefty colony. Just look at all those eggs. Ants usually put up their eggs against warm spots, so they must have been warming them up to speed up their growth. Finding a colony of that size inspired me to keep on looking. It was a sign to never give up. I even tried breaking open sticks and hoping to find a small colony.
Hit my camera.
Yeah, that didn't go well. But what did go well was the colonies I kept on discovering.
Super tiny ants over here. Oh, right there. Look at that.
And then I saw this queen right here for a split second. Dang, I wish I brought a shovel and bucket so I could have dug them out.
Let's see if there's anything under here. Okay, I don't see anything. This is really hard to do with one hand.
But anyways, I spent the next 30 minutes searching around, not really finding much. That is, until I found this.
This would be a perfect spot to find queen ants. Whoa, look at that.
Tons and tons of brood. Now that it's getting late, it will be best to end off the day on a high note. Another glorious day with Chips Ahoy Thins. Stop by this open area of pure forest.
Moss on one side of the rock, doesn't that mean it points north? Being here at night, that'd be really scary. Wish I brought my black light too, but there wouldn't be a place to plug it in. Imagine what kind of ants I found over here.
Surprisingly, I didn't find any ants here, but hey, the scenery was good enough for me. Imagine camping out here with a black light. Shee! Could probably find a ton of ants. Or actually, you could probably find a ton of mosquitoes, so maybe that wouldn't be the best idea. High risk, high reward, what can I say? Some people were getting their exercise by biking, and other people like me get theirs by looking for ants. It was a really nice sunny day looking back at all these clips. Now let's try these Chips Ahoy Thins.
Oh wow, these are pretty good.
Alright, now I'm checking out this new location.
Yeah, this would be a good area right here. You can find Bigfoot over here.
Extremely beautiful, just look at all this greenery, guys. And a much wider area to look around. Let's see what's underneath this log. And it's just a single termite. Nice. I spent the rest of my time lifting up rocks in the sun and a couple more wood branches. Jeez, look at this tree. It has like... what is this? Is this lichen?
I just need to get my stone axe. Maybe I should just craft one. I could probably spot a unicorn over here. Don't carpenter ants make these? It's pretty cool.
And after passing by these stacked rocks, I then found a colony heating up their eggs. Yummy, yummy rice.
Back over here. The lucky spot where I found the queen ant. Oh, look at that. The beetle's still here.
Digging through the remains of my last search, I was hoping I could find another queen and take its place.
Okay, so right behind me, there's like this building, and it just has like glass walls, and I can't see through the windows, but I feel like there's people in there, and they could just see me looking through their backyard. Way too funny.
Walking down the road, I found these slave raiding ants running with cocoons. These ants are in the middle of stealing eggs from another colony, and they bring them back to their own nest to raise up. And now with the day ending, I went to the final spot. Here was just an open field with forests all around. There weren't any lampposts here, so I wasn't expecting to find any queens. But to my surprise, I was able to find a spiteful ruby ant queen. Really cool. The next hour I searched this area because if there was one, there was bound to be more. Especially since there are workers of the same species in this area. This meant there were probably a lot of queen ants nearby having their nuptial flights. By the time the hour was up, I caught 3 manica queens and 1 termite. Unlike most ant queens, manica are semi-claustral ants, meaning they'll have to hunt for food in order to lay eggs. And so, I started off by giving 1 queen strawberry jam.
I know it looks kind of weird on camera, but in real life this thing is way more vibrant and it doesn't look like this.
And trust me, to me, this strawberry jam looked disgusting. Even the honey mustard. Come on, Popeyes, I love your fried chicken and popcorn shrimp, but please fix this. This one couldn't wait and was holding onto the Q-tip. And the last one enjoyed something way more healthier. Blueberry. And to top it off, I fed this 1 queen this tiny bug. And also one more thing, I found this formica queen around the same area where the slave raiding ants were. I also collected some eggs that she can hopefully raise up too. July 19 began off on a mediocre start. I noticed this red formica worker and these really huge Camponotus majors I mistook for queens for a second. These carpenter ants were massive. Was hoping to uncover a colony here, but it was empty. And the same thing happened here and here. With the sun setting and seeing almost nothing but worker ants, I had to check our lucky spot where we found our queens last time. And so I walked and walked and walked until I found 1 queen. Nice. Little did I know she would be a fill-in for one of the other queens that passed away for an unknown reason. July 20th was a bit different though. I found myself in a heavily wooded location. It was a hot and sunny day, and there were times where I had to stop to admire the lighting and scenery. Honestly, I couldn't find any ant colonies or ants in general, except for this colony taking advantage of the heat. Luckily for me, I was able to take advantage of it as well. Back home, I gave the carpenter ant queen a couple cocoons to adopt. Hopefully, she will be able to raise these up. I also found this other queen ant that I didn't know the species of. Maybe she's Tapenoma, an odorous house ant, and it would be my first time finding this species. 3 days later, and on my final day looking for ants, I was back to the concrete path. The previous days were too windy, so I didn't even bother looking, which I kinda regret because you never know what you will find. Either way, I had to make the most of my last day here, and it was spent catching another manica queen. Also had to check the mini log place one more time. And now that you made it to the end, it's time for the promise giveaway. All you have to do is leave a name suggestion for our family name. What should I call you guys as a colony? The Enderians? The Endies? The Safety Scissors Squad? Let me know your name suggestions and I'll reply to the winner's comment. Make sure you reply to my comment though, or else I won't be able to get your contact info. My name is Enderance, another fellow ant YouTuber. And by the way, here's a playlist of my favorite videos I made that you should check out. See you later, friends.